Welcome to another episode and video on my Android programming, and not this one, this will come later on, but also on my Arduino MegaADK for Android, hence the presence of an Android tablet. Last time I tried to get this same piece of code working on here. I got it running once or twice, and several times it just stopped, crashed, whatever. I also got some Google Play Store errors, unable to solve it so far, and by the messages on the forum I can tell that I am not the only one suffering from those messages, so something is playing up big time, to put it nicely. So can I get this running once again? Let's try it. Yeah, stop, run on device, and then I should be able to see something here. And there is something else that crossed my mind. This is without a doubt C. And here the coordinates are displayed, which are these coordinates, by the way: AX, AY and AZ here, and it says could not start the sketch. Why? No clue why, because it's running right now, so that is a mystery. Also, it's not connected to the Android, to the Arduino, excuse me. I hope that will come on later. But what bothers me and what wonders me is that I have to apparently compile anytime I want to run it on the device. C is, together with some other languages, a compile once, run many times language, other than, for example, Python, which is not a compiler but an interpreter, and you have to interpret, translate, which is the same, each instruction every time, over and over and over again. And with C you don't. So when you look at, for example, this code, which is also C, AVR-C in this case, it's compile once, upload, and you run. And you don't have to compile it over and over again to get it running. With this one, unless I have missed something, but whenever I press run on device, it compiles. Maybe I can upload it to a device, but so far I haven't seen that yet. So far it's running. I'm happy with that. Let's play with it a bit more and see however that runs. So with this I stop it, and on the device you can immediately see it has stopped, so that's nice. What is it about? Get activity, some sensors, float AX, AY and AZ. Float means floating point, as opposed to integer, which is any number from 0 to let's say 32,767, and float says, well, it can be any number with a decimal and a lot of decimals behind it. And that's also what you could see in the when the sketch was running, although very tiny. A digit, decimal, and several decimals behind it. And here you say draw background is black. Oh, background is, I assume this is black. What if I change this into, for example, something else? Now let's keep it simple. 1 0 0 with height. Oh, that's interesting. So I can easily play with this. Oh yes, and display density gave an error last time, so I cut it out for now. But let's see whatever I can play with right now. Yeah, and this, I don't know what background. Oh, the background function does not exist. Oh, that's nice. Curious. So with background, although it apparently does not exist as function, let's see whatever we can do. Something called weight and height, and is part of text. So apparently text is a command or a function with these as arguments, wherever they come from. And right now I cannot find where things are coming from, but let's first see if text, if background 1 does something. Yes, I will have to make it available again. And it does run, but with no apparent change. So if I make this instead of 1, for example 50 or 4 or whatever, what does it do then? No, that one. So let's just change it. Stop this and build it again. But it is still a completely black background with the coordinates still in the top corner, top left corner. So not much there, unless I can find something which tells me about background. But if I do this, find in reference. Alright, find in reference. but that is apparently not doing anything, not from here anyway. I can check about this, of course. But here is here they have background 255. 255 is usually either black or white. I can try that, of course. So let's stop running and make it 255. Nice idea. That looks like it's not working. No, it indeed says sketch has stopped. So let's try again, whatever is happening. And these are quite annoying things, of course, not knowing what will happen and how and which way. Lost connection while device while installing. Okay, try again. No connected devices. Oh, that is bad. Yeah, then you can do whatever you try, but then it won't work. So I have to reconnect. Yep, running sketch on device, that's not going to help. Stop it. Yes, it has to open, it wants to open. So, and there it is again. So now, but it's not there. And I had still to give OK on the Android. So now it's there again. Let's try once more. And in the meantime it has said that sketch has stopped, but that is usual if you press stop. So let's try it again. With whatever result. And the big question is, why did it disconnect in the first place? Okay, this is interesting, it doesn't show anything right now. And it may just have been that, although with everything in it, I would expect white and not black, while it was completely black. but I don't see it running either. So let's try again. And if this is black on black, it's invisible. So that will be really a big problem. And I think I have got black on black now, because everything is visible, and I will show you. Oops, it says sketch has stopped. That is not nice. Alright, let's do it again, last time now. Before I change 255 back to 0. Let's see if that works. Installing sketch. Very good. Will it work? It has started to sketch, but it's now black on black. So this region is not showing anything, which means that this 255 is black. And it also says the sketch has stopped. So with that point I am going back to 0, assuming that that will return white text on black screen. Assuming the sketch will not stop in that way. Launched on the device, and yes, it is there. So indeed 255 gives a background that this is not being shown, although this stays black and not white. The text was not shown. Curious. But anyway, this works with all failures of background not existing. Or width and height are not being shown. But of course I can say, alright, what is width and what is height? Variable width does not exist. Variable. Why don't all those things not exist? It does work. So it does exist somehow. Anyway, this is a bit experimenting. What I haven't found so far, and then I'm referring to this androidprocessing.org, is a way to get this working with the Arduino. So there's a lot to find out still. This is an API for the Android SDK, purely Android, not Arduino. And what is up next is this. Unfortunately still not in combination with this kind of stuff. So right up next, hardware, but with this. Let's see how that works out. Alright, now it's time for the MegaADK, and you see here that at least some signal is going on. corresponding more or less to the brightness of this LED. And one LED is absolutely burning, but I'm not really happy with this let's say signal appearance. So what I want to do is to change the time base. This seems a lot better. This is 500 microseconds. 200 microseconds, no. And this is as we had it. This is not good either. So it seems 500 microseconds is what I need. Although not quite, because these lines are larger than the gaps here and here as well. So, and the yellow line is corresponding to this one, and the blue line is corresponding to this one. But how can I change these signals? That would be a way to do it. Change the time scale. That one such a block is 5 volts, and now one such a block is 2 volts. So if I do the same for the yellow one, would that help? Not really. Right, 5 volts, it stays then. Or I have to go lower, but I don't like to do that. So let's keep it in this way. Then I do have a button. But let's see the code again, because if the button is pressed, then analog 6, which is the green LED, this one, should get low, and a very low value. Is that indeed happening? Now, wait. That is if not. So this should read high. Let's get the monitor with it. It says low. Yeah, because it's not pressed. So if I press it, it has to get brighter. But instead of brighter, it goes off. Releasing it, and I get this, and then I do refer to the blue line. Do I want this? No, I do not want this. Well, I want it low, but not. But it seems like it is completely reversed. So a low signal, let's say. Not 250, let's say 128. So if the signal is pressed, if the button is pressed, so to say, I want high in the serial monitor, and let's make this a higher value, 1024, 1023, more appropriate, 0 to 1023. And I'm very curious what happens now. So let's upload and see. Okay, presumably the last part of this video. Let's upload and see whatever happens. Well, this happened primarily, a rather different block wave. And what will happen if I press the button? Well, let's see the code. The code says if the button is pressed, then it says high in the monitor and the value gets very high. Well, that is what happens. I am releasing the button and it says 128. Should I change something in the settings? Let me do that. It is selected on the blue line now. So I'm dragging the blue line down. Then right, that's enough. And the other line is still the red LED, the big red LED. Should I change that as well? Yes, let me change that as well. Alright. And let me change the time base. The other way. 2 volts. Alright, now what's the difference? Will there be a difference? Okay, so there's a delay. Definitely a delay in signal. But what is 128 anyway in value? It is pulse width, no doubt. But is it that much different? I am now moving the blue wire. As in this, what you see now on screen should not happen. Really odd. Alright, let's make 120 something else. Let's make this 64. Would it make a difference? Well, it should make, because this is also 64, and compared to this one compared to this one, well, this one is twice as high, no, 4 times as high. Let's see the difference. Well, now between low there is no difference anymore. This is all-time high, and this is very low. What I would expect somehow is that this image would get very low constantly, but that is not happening because it is pulse width modulation. So a certain time in the period, and one small and one large make one period, so that is what you get. And if I press, then 1023 is one uninterrupted line, which I interpret as one whole period. So 1023 minus 64 is 995 or something. 995. So this must be so the underline must be that length, I assume. Anyway, that's it for changing these values, and now it seems to be correct. When I press it, it gets very high, only very high, and when I release it, it gets 64. Although still the gaps in the underline are a lot shorter, smaller than these lines. Right, thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, referring back to sketch background, I found the info, but it opened in another browser than Opera, and it indeed has some values, and if I go to a very different value like 51 or so, you get indeed, or should get, a different color. So who knows for the next time. For now, thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to my channel, YouTube channel, and like this video. If you follow me on Twitter, please like and retweet. Follow me on Instagram and like. And forward if possible. Please donate to keep everything coming your way. More information on my website, and you can find lots of other pictures and videos via my website. Also about events I have attended so far, and this is of course going to be continued. Bye bye.